you see something that inspires you. You're like, ah, this is it. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm pursuing. We all have that moment at some point, whether it's when you're 18 or when you're 45, whatever, it happens. And Happen For You is one of my favorite things in the book because I'm a big fan of this band. Read that bit, will you?
Me, I saw Kiss when I was 12, and that was all she wrote. I was in. The music industry had its hooks in me before I became a teenager. I didn't know any other way, and I didn't care to learn any other way. I wanted to carve out my path and be a part of that energy. I have dedicated my life to that passion and those goals.
Awesome. You talked about Dave Ellison. There was something I wanted to read the crowd real quick, if I can find the right page, 245. He was obviously, he talks a lot about his influences and people who inspire him in his career. And, this guy, Dave's quoted quite a bit in the book.
For you guys that don't know, David Ellison is the former bass player of Megadeth,
right? The
originator of the band Megadeth, which is one of the big four metal bands of the world. So yeah, he did an interview in this book for me because I played with him for 5 years, along with my guitar player Dave Sharp, who's here. A lot of you guys are actually, a lot of the faces I see, I know, and then there's some people that are actually in the book that are here. So thank you guys again for coming out tonight.
For sure. Dave Ellison, LF Son, has a lot to say in this book, and it's pretty cool. But one of the things I thought was pretty cool, he writes, "I would trust Christian with my entire life savings. He's earned that level of trust with me. I've played with a lot of great musicians who I have high respect for, but who I wouldn't even trust wash my wallet for 5 minutes." And that's a big deal.
That's very true.
Pretty fat wallet. So
that is very true.
That's saying a lot about you.
Hey.
Hi, welcome. Come on in. They're gonna play again in about 10 minutes. You're not late.
You missed the first set.
Maybe we'll do a little Q&A now, you and me first, before we
Sure.
go to the crowd.
Sure. I mean, if you want me to read one more Ellison quote, I can.
Yeah, why don't you do that?
So, I'm trying to think which one. I got a bunch of them written down there. There's a lot of cool ones he did. I just want to do something not David Ellison related. It's just something that I thought was important. So, a quote in it. First of all, the part in the back of the book is important. Networking is key. Stop worrying about protecting your little circle or clique and start realizing that whatever you put out there comes back to you. Think small, stay small. Expand your circle as much as you can. The more you help and do for others, the more you find success in more ways than one, and also from within. It's a simple concept, but so many people do not see or understand this. The world would be a better place if we did and acted this way all together every day. Now that's just something that I felt was important, but we also, in here it also says we need free thinking. We need to be more open-minded and creative. We need more compassion. We should always question authority. Tolerance should be key, along with more love and the use of simple common sense. And of course, better education. That's what's missing from this world. So those are just some key things that I thought was important that, that are in the book, that are not related to David Ellison or any other person that's actually interviewed in here. A lot of other musicians that I've worked with are in this book, in interviews, and tonight you'll be getting free CDs, the Darkest of Angels CDs, which features, it's a guest vocalist album that has a lot of the guys that are in this book on the CD singing with us as guest vocalists. So if you guys want one, let us know. We'll give you a free CD tonight on the way out.
So how long have you been at this? I mean,
The
first time you don't even know.
I started, first show was age 13 at the, I believe it was at the Brickenwood in New Haven, and the first show was at Bunny's lawn. Bunny's here. Bunny's lawn in Guilford, down the street from my house. My good friend's mom. And good friends, they're both here. And then the second show was I booked myself at age 13 at the Brickenwood, and then basically never stopped. I've only canceled one tour my entire life, and that was because I got really sick about 5 years ago. And since then I quit drinking. I haven't had a drop of alcohol in 5 years, and I basically tried to just live a better. Everything I do is for is to maintain drumming. So at my age, it's hard enough to play aggressively when you're 28, 22, 23. Right. at my age to play the way I do still, and I'm actually feel like I'm better than I was. It's, you have to, I do yoga all the time. I try to eat clean as much as possible. I still love my pizza, don't get me wrong. And even though Pepe's was spelled wrong in the book. Just once, though. It was spelled right. I felt horrible. I was like, oh my god, this is terrible. Because I have a backdoor policy. I can walk in Pepe's in the back door.
Really?
So to spell their name wrong was really, really bad.
That's a competition.
That's my Italian
my
snack food.
pick.
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
But
That's your pick.
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is. It really is. I like the potato and salads, but Pepe's is better.
It's not as
Yeah. But anyway, so
We're going down a rabbit hole.
that's
sold out anyhow.
But everything I do now
They went
is to
chain.
maintain my drumming. So, I go to the chiropractor a couple days a week. I go deep tissue massage once a month. I do yoga. I don't drink anymore. All of it is to be able to, because I want to be able to play aggressively till I'm whatever, till I can't, basically,
So I mean, what's interesting to me in all those years, everyone in this room, I think, remembers, vinyl, cassette, 8-track, CDs, and now streaming. I mean, talk about how the industry has changed since you got there, and how people are making a living now that you can't go to a record store. Well, you can still go to a little record store, but the days of the big box, go buy a CD and spend $100 on music, and these guys make some money off it. That's over. I always sit when I just go, okay, play me this for free.
Yeah.
How's it working now?
We're basically traveling T-shirt salesmen.
Yep.
That's basically what we are. I mean, seriously. And
Merch.
without that, there would be nothing. So I say 4 times. I repeat myself over and over again. And I joke around a lot, but I always end with Lars Ulrich was right. And what I mean by that is, if you guys remember back in the day, he went at Napster when they first came out for all the downloading, and he got a lot of crap for going against them. And at the time, I was even like, man, Lars, why are you doing that, man? Like, you look like crap. You know what I mean? And a lot of people give Lars a lot of help, and but I give him a lot of credit because he saw the future. He knew that it was going to ruin the industry, and it did. It absolutely did. It basically got to the point where we spend hundreds to thousands of dollars recording the music, and we make pennies on a dollar in return. So what do? You have to make music for your fans. You have to give them something that they're going to want to go see you play live and listen to. So you just eat it up. You suck it. It's like part of the. It's like buying. You have to look at it as like part of the trade. Like you buy, for someone who's a plumber, you have to buy the tools to be a plumber. I always use that analogy because my grandfather used to be like, "You should be a plumber."
It wasn't wrong. It's a good living.
Yeah, it is good living. But on another sense too, if I was a plumber, I would get paid when I show up, and as a musician, you should also get paid when you show up. I look at it the same. I'm providing a service just like a plumber.
Right.
I'm entertaining people. If I bring people to a show, it's the same thing as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, I got off topic there. But what was the?
No, that was really it. I mean, just kind of.
Oh, how different it changed. Yeah, it changed a lot. So it went from making money off of tapes or CDs to basically making nothing. And now you have to tour to make a living. And if you don't tour, you're not really, I hate to say it, you can have fun, you can be a weekend warrior, you can go out and play the bars, but you're not really a touring musician, you're not really making a living, because you have to go out, you have to tour, you have to shake everyone's hands. Like, we have only 15,000 people on one of my band's Facebook pages, but 14,222 I probably shook their hand.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Do you think that's thwarted creativity? Like, young guys who are like, I'm going to go be Jimmy Page. Well, I'm going to live that rock and roll lifestyle and make millions of dollars. It's like, oh, fucking, I'm not going to
they don't realize when